Welcome. Hi, welcome. Susan Graham here, Manifest Now TV. It's good to be here and speaking with you. Today we have a special guest with us for our interview series about manifesting and different tools and tips and techniques from all different sorts of professionals in different industries because it's relevant in all areas of life. So today's special guest her name is Jacki. So let's do a little bio about Jacki. In 2023, Jacki embarked on a transformative journey to overcome her dependence on alcohol, a struggle that had taken root during a challenging period in her life. Once known for her role as a beloved bartender at a local golf course and her reputation as a big-time beer drinker, Jacki found herself drinking every day. Initially, she thought she was managing her intake, but as life became increasingly difficult, alcohol started to dominate her existence. Her darkest moments came with the realization that she was drinking more in her 50s than she ever had in college. Recognizing the dire need for change, she chose a path toward a healthier future, aiming to be around long enough to see her future grandchildren. Jacki is a single mother of four adult children and is now an empty nester. She shares her home with her beloved cats who offer her companionship. In her spare time, she enjoys activities such as golfing, pickleball, yoga, hiking, and knitting. Living a life free from the chains of alcohol, she now finds joy in laughing, dancing, and fully embracing life without alcohol's control. Having worked diligently to build an alcohol-free life, Jacki is trained in the science-based methodologies that changed her life. She has also learned valuable tools from experts like Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, Matthew McConaughey, and Shirzad Shamin, to name a few. Jacki is passionate about helping others embrace the joys of an alcohol-free life by transforming their beliefs about alcohol and supporting their personal growth journey. Her mission is to guide others towards finding their true selves and living their best lives ever. So, welcome, Jacki Fleniken.
I'm
Hi.
just giggling because can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
There we go. I have speakers on my freaking computer and they are a pain in the ass. Um, I'm in my kitchen. I'm always in my kitchen though.
That's all right. That looks cool. It looks great.
Well, and I thought about it. I was just hopping off a group Zoom call I do every week with other people that I've met through that help with them with their struggling with addiction. But I was like, I'm in my kitchen again. I could put a background up, and I'm like, but all of my healing happened here. Everything I did is at one time I did a Tony Robbins event in my back room, which is back there, and I Roku'd, I screen mirrored up to my Roku to do that event. But everything has happened here in my kitchen.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool.
Yes.
So, how are you? Thank you so much for agreeing to come on the show, Manifest Now TV, with me. I'm really excited to have you and talk about this journey that you've been on, and now you're helping other people
Mhm.
to do that and manifest better lives because of that.
Right.
I
Yeah.
just read your bio. So, everyone, this is Jacki Fleniken. Did I say your last name correctly?
You did say my last name correctly.
Also, just I didn't get all. We'll get all your socials and your
Mhm.
email and your contact info, and add that so everyone can contact you as they'd like to. Okay, so have a look for that in the description and the comments. And oh, and everyone, please help. Please subscribe. We need help subscribing. We need some more people, eyes on it, and all that.
Exactly.
So back to Jacki. So Jacki's journey has been incredible. And oddly enough, I'm kind of on a similar trajectory, which is interesting. I mean, you say you're in your 50s in your bio, or that was kind of when you were like really realizing, whoa, like I'm drinking
Mm.
way more, even in my 50s. What am I doing, right? I did the same thing.
Mhm. Yeah.
And what happened for me, well, I got super sick and chronic pain and all the chronic crap. And they put me on really strong drugs, prescription drugs. I could not drink. So I simply just let it go. I know that's not everyone's case. So let's talk about that because I make that sound kind of easy. I
Right.
had no choice though. Like I just the
Right.
combination, like I just could not, that you could not drink and
Right.
take these pills. I would have died.
Well, I'm proud of you for the fact that you paid attention to the fact that it said, there's my cat, um, you can't drink with this medication and because of this or that. A lot of people don't do that because the reason being, and what I know that happened with me is the addiction is so hardwired in our brain that even some people who are in that situation, so Susan, I'm so proud of you because they just go, oh, I don't care, I'm going to drink, because that part of their brain will say that to them. Oh, it's okay, one won't hurt you. Oh, it's okay, you'll be fine even though you take it, because the addiction is so bad. So with me, it was July of 2022. I mean, I fell into an extremely bad depression at the end of December of 21. It was a situational, somebody really hurt me and just I fell so hard, and I was already drinking every day, but it just escalated. And I was averaging about 12 beers a day. And in July of 2022, I reached out to somebody because I knew she had quit. And we played phone tag, and I never talked to her. And the highlight moment for me, where in July of 22 as well, I went to a funeral, a celebration of life for a gentleman who ultimately died because of his addiction to alcohol. And all these people sat there. First of all, we were all drinking beer. It was a 1 o'clock service, and we're all there's beer flowing. It's free. Everybody's drinking,
Mhm.
and people got up there and told stories about this amazing man. But what they talked about was his funny drinking stories, and not all the amazing things he did with the United Way and all the charitable things he did or what he did with his career. They talked about how stupid he was when he went to a PGA golf tournament and they
Yeah.
lost him because he was drunk. And I sat there and I thought, man, is that going to be my legacy? Is that what I want to do? So all these things started coming to me. And one of the things I think about, my mom passed away. It'll be 21 years ago in June. My father died in January of 2021. And I do feel like mom has really been with me a lot of the ways. And I do believe there was a lot of divine intervention coming to me because all of a sudden, I'm starting to struggle with this. Like I'm scared. I'm scared of, I don't know how to get this under control. I tried a couple different things. I tried drops you can take, and I'm like, okay, this will work. And I tried this thing. There's an app you can put on your phone, and you try
Right.
to tell them how many drinks you're going to drink a day. Well, I got smarter than the app, and I thought, well, I'll just lie. If I said I'm only going to drink nine and I drink 11, I'll just say I drank nine
Right.
because I don't want that red mark on that right side. So I was like, all these things just kept happening. And then everything kind of came into alignment when I did my first Tony Robbins event at the end of January 2023. And I started to, my eyes open, but the addiction was still so there. And
Mm.
so I have so many cats. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I shouldn't have put it outside.
I love my kitties. I love
Here's my
kitties.
Hennessy. Yes, Hennessy is amazing. But watch, I'll just here, get off the table. You got to go.
The classic spray bottle.
Sorry, y'all. I mean, I'm a goofball. That's really who I am.
No, that's good. That's hilarious.
So,
So that's amazing. So what, like with the Tony Robbins experience, like what do you know what made it click?
well, that was the start. That's just the very, very beginning. That's
Right.
a tiny click. It was a tiny notch. It gave me that little bit, like I was in such a deep hole that, I couldn't even see the light at the top of this hole. Like, so that was the first rung of the ladder. Like, but my ladder was probably 50 freaking rungs, you know. So I looked at it and I was like, okay, this helped. I know I have these beliefs around alcohol. How do I fix it? What do I do now? What's the next thing? So I did sign up for a one-on-one coach through Tony Robbins. And it wasn't going to be enough. I needed to dive into the addiction and understanding what that was. So I found a year-long program that was a science-based methodology, and I dove deep into that. And I started studying that and learning that and understanding why my body became so addicted, why my subconscious was in control, why I felt like I needed it to cope with my depression and my anxiety. With crazy thing, I didn't really, the anxiety came because of the depression, and it was just this whirlwind of so many different things going on that I was able to go in and through this science-based methodology, really understanding how to what I tell people is like my neural pathway for alcohol was like this huge highway and it was so thick, right? So I took this jackhammer to it just constantly and constantly and constantly. Okay, break it down a little bit more this day and the next day and the next day and the next day. And then I built a new neural pathway over here. And that one is now my thick, ginormous one where I have I have no desire to drink. And without temptation, there's without desire, sorry, there's no temptation.
Right.
And I don't mind being around it. It's not for me now because now my neural pathways, my brain, I took my subconscious and I said, no, we're going to break that one down. And it was a
Awesome.
lot of work. It was work. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, trust
Fortunately,
me.
it's not a flip of a switch. But guess what? Went up those rungs. I'm at the top now. I got out. So, or like when
Miracle.
people will visit my website, they'll see I like to correlate my life as a butterfly now because that cocoon I lived in I was in it for a while. So now I broke free. So my wings are out and I'm flying and it's wonderful. And it's a constant work. I continue to work on myself
Right.
because if I'm not evolving and growing, then I could what the term we like to tell people is entropy. I don't want entropy to set back in. And what entropy is like if you don't let your car if a car and you don't ever run it, your battery's going to give out. Or if
Okay.
you don't weed your garden, the weeds are going to take over and entropy sets in. So I will never go back to that world. And that's what I love to help people with is let them understand. Like that's what I'm here for. I get it. I walked it. I lived it. I
Yeah.
remember the fear of I don't have enough alcohol in my house. Am I going to get through the day? And then, oh wait, I need to go get beer, right? Shit, what beer distributor did I go to last time?
Right.
And I'd rotate. And then I
Rotate.
got really smart, Susan. I thought, because I was drinking 12 a day, So when you look at the math, if there's 30 beers in a 30 pack, I was going every 3 days to get beer. So I got super smart and I thought I'll just get 2 30 packs at a time. So all of that noise is gone, which is wonderful. I don't have that anymore. But the biggest thing is I understand that people have that fear and they're
And
scared.
yeah, and it's interesting about the neural pathways, because I'm actually reading a book right now called Mind Magic
Mhm.
by Dr. John Doty.
Mhm.
And this is the main pathway to manifesting is changing your neural pathways. And it's called neuroplasticity in the brain. He explains it, obviously. I'm not the one to explain this, but I'm just trying to grasp the concept of it for my personal, like, let's change these neural pathways, right? Change the patterns. And so I'm in the process of doing that with now this isn't for alcohol, this is for pain. I'm doing it for pain. And because I have this thing called fibromyalgia,
Mhm.
and it's just a chronic pain, and it's triggers. So my pain neural pathways are like heightened. They're on like really high all the time. So I have to change that, right? And start some new neural pathways, and that's called neuroplasticity. So our brains have that, and it's the capability of being able to change that.
Yes.
Anyway, it's very fascinating.
Yes, it is. And that is the big part of what I was able to do is through neuroplasticity is take that because like it's like you're like if you look at it like a tree trunk, your thoughts are and what we do is the trunk, but then everything that's the branches are the context. It's the stories we create around them too. So it's breaking, as you're saying, with the neuroplasticity, it's we're gonna cut that tree down eventually, but you can't do it right away. You take it over to this other and you gotta plant the new one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it
It's
takes
a
it
beautiful
takes
process, right?
it's a process. It's definitely not a like it's
No.
not like a light switch. It's you have to it's you're retraining your brain.
Yeah,
You're
exactly. Right.
retraining it.
Yeah.
But I love the concept too that, of course, this book, this is a coincidence, but it's actually about manifesting
Hmm.
your best life, right? Manifesting in your life through the concept of changing your neural pathways via neuroplasticity. So with that being said, like for you, do you find like let's just do a little wrap into some manifesting like talk with being alcohol free,
Hmm.
have you found manifesting other like the things you want in your life? Is it easier? Is it freer? Like has there been a difference?
Oh, 100% absolutely, because the clarity's there now. There's because of the fact of when you even if you go like 4 days without alcohol, let's say, you're still it's still in your system. I mean, so for me now, it'll be 2 years in June. So as I my body healed and my brain healed, things are so clear now and I can be conscious of things and I'm also calmer. So yeah, I'm able to actually when you have the freedom to not have that. I was chained to my beer fridge, chained to it. I was chained to how much alcohol do I have? So it controlled so much of my real estate in my brain. And now I get to control the real estate in my brain. And I get to manifest and look at these things because when the addiction is so powerful, you can't think of anything else. So now that I'm almost 2 years, it's like that's what I tell people it's freedom. It's true freedom when I can sit down and I'll drink an NA beer. Of course I will, because there's no alcohol in it. I love it. It's a different taste. I drink so much water during the day, but I don't really care that anybody says, "Well, why are you drinking NA? What fun is that?" I said, "Great. It's a beer without a buzz and no hangover."
That's right.
And I get to make these decisions on what I want in my life now. And it's been a beautiful, beautiful thing. I mean, the interesting thing was, I mean, I remember with my one-on-one coach, probably in 20, after I had stopped drinking around that time. Yeah. She said, write a list of what you were looking for in a man. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. Right. But I'm like, because I know I had so much of my journey. And I wrote a list. I have it somewhere. It's in my purse of all these things of a man. And I just wrote it down. I don't think I read it very often. On my birthday in October of this last year, I met this man and everything on that list except two things. Number one thing, everything on that list, I said he has to love golf. He doesn't golf, but he's willing to try.
Cool.
And the second one was he has to love cats. He likes cats, but he's slightly allergic. So I manifested that all that time ago. I put it out there to the universe,
Yep.
forgot about it, and they brought it to me.
Oh.
You know, they brought him to me, and it's such a beautiful thing. I told him I want to share the list with him because it's like,
Oh.
and it was a beauty. It's like amazing what we can do when we're clear headed and we can really sit and think, what do I want in my life?
Hmm.
I
Like,
want,
yeah, for real. Like, what do you really want? Like, and clear, so it becomes really clear, and then that equates. Then it becomes freedom. Like it all just,
yeah, exactly.
yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
So what? Okay, let's ask this question. Do you have like, okay, what kind of like, do you have techniques, tools? Like, do you do exercise? Like, do you exercise? Do you meditate? Do you laugh? Do you what? Like, what?
Oh man, the biggest thing in the beginning with me for healing, and because that's what I'm here to help people whenever they do decide to change their relationship with alcohol. It's a big change. This kitchen, I danced. I
Oh,
danced all the time. I
awesome.
danced because that I've got an empowering music playlist on Spotify and I would play it over and over and over again. I mean, I know it so much, I know what song comes next because I knew I needed to heal. So that is my big thing is and yoga is definitely very helpful for me. Sitting with myself and doing meditation or just reconnecting with myself is very helpful. I took up pickleball. I golf. I mean, I have a lot of different things that with a bit that I love to be able to do now to help me find the best version of myself because that best version was it wasn't good for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So the dancing, yes. So it's so I guess I think it equates a sense of feeling freedom
Mhm.
when you're dancing,
Yeah.
right? And you just let totally go.
Right.
And it's so good for your whole spirit, soul, your whole being.
Well, the words. I'm so thankful for all these artists out there or people who write songs because when you really can dive into some of the words, like Gloria Gaynor's I Will Survive.
Oh, yeah.
That song is so deep in my soul. Like the night I met this man and on my birthday in October of 2024, he watched me dance that song and we didn't know each other yet. He had asked me to dance later and I said, sure. And when we sat and talked later, when he learned about me, I told him my story and I said, he goes, I noticed that song meant something to you. I said, yeah, because I needed it to go into my soul. So I'm so thankful for these musicians who
Mhm.
can write for us to heal through music. And
Right?
thank goodness because it's so helpful to just get in that moment and just immerse yourself in it where all you think about is how's this making me feel and how am I able to grow from this and how am I able to heal myself and just hear it over and over again. So it gets in me where I just go, like another song, real quick, it was with my anxiety, even after what I call the train, because I say I was on a dark destruction on this alcohol train. I would use the song "I'm Coming Out" by Diana Ross, and I would go to play bingo on Sundays at this private club, and I still had anxiety, and I would just play that song over and over in my car, and remind myself, "I'm coming out. You're okay. I'm coming out. You're okay."
Hmm.
So it's those things that help us that we need to lean on, and it's okay to lean on those things. So
Absolutely.
my
Give me,
music,
can you
yeah.
just hold on one second? My kitty is meowing
Oh yes, I want the.
to get out, and I've locked her in. Okay. Thank you.
Oh,
I'm back. I have a song too that's so interesting so yeah, mine lately has been Hold On for One More Day. You know that
oh yeah,
the what are they the
Wilson
chicks. The
Phillips,
chicks.
or is it the Wilson? Oh, well, Wilson
Oh,
Phillips had one too. That's Wilson Phillips. Hold on for one more. Hold on for one. Don't make me
oh,
sing.
oops. I'm so sorry. Yeah, me neither. I'm not gonna sing
Yeah,
it.
no, that song's phenomenal too. That's on my
But
playlist.
okay, sorry. Yeah, maybe it's the Wilson.
Hmm.
Anyway, that song. Yeah, I don't know. The lyrics are just like, okay, okay, I can do that. Can hold on for one more day, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so awesome. Thank you so much. What advice do you have? Okay, so if someone out there listening is like thinking, okay, I think I'm ready to not drink anymore, to try to go alcohol free, what's going to be their first step?
Well, in my humble opinion, I would say reach out to somebody who's done it because it's not as you got lucky. You did it because you were on medication and this
Yeah,
and that. But for those of the people who are scared and maybe they've tried it, that's why I decided to become an alcohol freedom coach because I know how hard it is. I know you can try different things. So the biggest thing is once you're aware that you think you have a problem, then it's time to fix it. Then it's your responsibility to fix it. And it doesn't mean it's your fault because alcohol is so addictive. It's so addictive, and they don't tell us how addictive it is. They don't tell us that the only warning label they have is drink responsibly and don't drink if you're pregnant and don't operate heavy machinery. So really in reality, they don't tell us it's linked to 7 different types of cancers. It doesn't tell you that, it's linked to 60 different types of diseases. It doesn't tell you all these things. So it's so hardwired in people's brains. So the biggest thing I would say is that's what I'm here for. And I
hmm
know a lot of other coaches who do this as well that I got certified with. But if you really want to reach out, if you want to change your relationship with alcohol, one of the things I learned from Tony Robbins that I absolutely loved is you find somebody who's done what you want and you follow what they tell you to do. Because I can teach you and show you. I can make it more simple for you unless you I don't the biggest thing I know my words are all over the place right now. Um, I don't focus on willpower. Focus on I don't focus on behavior because willpower is finite. It will run out. So that way we focus on emotion-based goals. We focused on why. We focus on so many different things. And we're going to dive into your beliefs for you to there's so many beliefs that are out there why people think they need alcohol. I
Right.
need I talked to a lady last night. She goes, yeah, I drink because I need it to relax.
Hmm.
I would dive in deeper with her, really going, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. So we have all these preconceived notions of why we need alcohol. So if my answer to your question is very long-winded, is if somebody really wants to change their relationship with alcohol, they're questioning, just, that's reach out to me, and I do a free call with people, and
That's
I
neat.
find out where they are, where do they want to be, because some people don't want to quit. Some people just want to moderate and cut back.
Hmm.
That was what I was that was my intention in the beginning. I just want to drink 1 or 2 beers a day. I wanted my control back. And
Right.
through everything I've learned, I can drink if I want to. I really just have no desire. Not to say I won't ever drink again. I might have a Chambord on the rocks. I don't know. I'm not going to ever tell myself I'm not going to drink again, because number one, what is my brain going to do? It's going to fight me. It's going to fight me and prove me. Like, it's going to say,
Right?
right? It's like a little kid when you tell him you can't have a cookie. What happens? The kid
Yeah.
goes, 20 minutes. I want a cookie, mom. What do? You give in, right? So I tell myself, I mean, I get to choose now. So some people that I work with, they choose to maybe have 1 or 2 drinks a month.
Right.
And guess what? Most of the time they do feel like they notice the effect of it the next day, and they go, I don't really like the way this makes me feel.
Right.
Everybody I work with, they get to choose. They get to choose the life they want.
I so mine, just to share with
Yeah.
everyone, mine was wine. I'm a wino. And I could no problem drink a full bottle a
Uh-huh.
day.
Right.
No problem. And then with that, it wasn't just the wine. It's like the wine with the food. So like to me, so it's not just wine, it's addictive personality, right? So it's not how much can I drink? It's me thinking, oh, I really want to have this food with this wine combination. I was doing it all the time, right? Like, so food, weight, everything, right? Like, when I finally decided, because these prescription drugs that that's enough. Okay. Like I can't drink a bottle of wine and take those pills.
Mhm.
Anyway, the desire completely left, but I did the same thing as you. I didn't put that pressure on myself. I didn't say I'm never going to drink again.
Mhm.
I can't do that. I can't tell myself that. That's too finite. That's too done. I want the option for in the future. If I want to go to Italy and have drink wine and have pizza, then I will do that.
Right.
But for right now, this is working amazing for me, and I have zero desire.
Right. And I'm going to repeat it again: without desire, there's no temptation.
Yeah, none.
Yeah.
Not even being around people having it. I had nothing. It's very interesting.
Yeah. There was a person I talked with who was concerned about, like, would go out and the friends would be like, why aren't you drinking? And he was like, because I'm tired and I have to drive home, and it's a 20-minute drive, 25-minute drive. And so these people would give him a hard time.
Hmm.
And I worked through with him to help him understand some of the things of, well, typically if somebody's giving you a hard time, it's because they question their own drinking or they don't want to drink alone. So this
Yeah.
was probably about almost 6 months ago when I started, talking with this person. And I got a call last week. He had gone out to dinner with another friend and said, Jackie, I just want to thank you. He goes, I'm really proud of myself. I said, what did you do? He said, well, I went out and I had a non-alcoholic beer. And he said, I didn't care what anybody thought. And I said, that's freedom. Now welcome to my world. But I was able to help him understand why he was having these thoughts, because of the things that we're taught through society, the things we're taught through media, the things we're taught through movies, and all these different ways that we're bombarded thinking that we need alcohol for X, Y, and Z. And it's a beautiful thing when I can help somebody uncover that, and they go, you do you, let me be me. And that's the gift I want to give people, is they get to choose the life they want to live.
That's right. And I mean, we are on the path, I'll say, along the path enough to know and realize like we would never peer pressure anyone. We're not that at that level, but it's strange and odd that people do and will
Yeah.
and still will peer pressure you.
Oh, yeah.
as adults. Like you think that's for just little kids and it's not. Adults do it to each other.
You know, it is, and it's funny when you look back at, not funny, but when I look at things, it's like I also quit smoking by using the same methodology.
Okay.
So, but I didn't do them both at the same time because I wasn't going to shock my system at the same time. So I
Okay.
did the alcohol first, and then I got rid of the cigarettes.
Yeah.
So I can help people around that as well.
Okay.
But it's funny. It's like if somebody was a smoker and said, "Hey, hey Susan, do you want a cigarette?" You go, "No, I don't want one." Okay, great, you don't smoke. But if somebody says to you, "Hey, do you want a glass of wine?" and you say, "No, I don't want one." Why don't you want wine?
Hmm.
Like that's the
Oh,
shift is starting to happen,
always.
but it's kind of like I don't want it. I don't want it anymore. And one of the things I will tell everybody a little bit about my background. I used to be a bartender for 12 years.
Right.
I went from bartender to alcohol freedom coach. And I mean, I know how addictive alcohol can be. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I served it. I served it. I watched
You
it.
watched.
I watched. And I would see the way it would affect people, but I also had this other thought back then when people would say, "Well, I don't drink." I'm like, "What do you mean you don't drink? How could you not drink?" Right? Because I was so in the world.
Right.
I was like, but everybody should drink. This is what we do with it. We use it to go out and have fun, and we do it for this, and we do it for that. And
Yeah.
you know, now I understand it, that
Mm.
it was all just like this, what I like to say, this pitcher plant of seduction. Here, let me seduce you into coming in and taste my nectar and think you need this in your life. And it's
Right.
like I teach people, no, you don't need to be seduced by alcohol. It's what it's doing. It's seducing you. But really, when you look down, if you look at the long-term side effects, or people who've died, I had a friend whose husband died Christmas Day from cirrhosis. He
Yeah.
couldn't
It's poison.
couldn't break free. Right.
Alcohol is poison, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, it is. And it's not, but I get it where people go, well, and the biggest thing is it's like you don't really see what's going on internally in your body until it's typically too late.
Right.
So that was my big thing of, I lost that friend to cirrhosis, or well, alcohol poisoning, alcohol, whatever it all was, in 2022. After he died, his best friend, they went to his apartment to check on him, and he was dead. I'm tearing up because they found wine bottles and liquor bottles, and it was horrible. And I remember I sat here, and my girlfriend called me, and she didn't know how scared I was in my own life. And I thought, fuck, that could be me.
Yeah.
That could be me. And I remember that day, and I'm 50. At that point, I was 54 years old, and my youngest will be 21 next month, and four kids. And I thought, if I don't get this together, I'm not going to be alive to see my grandkids.
Yeah.
I don't have grandkids yet, so that's what I'm here to help people understand. Is they say the adage, oh, that people say, oh, but an old dog can't learn new tricks. I'm here to prove to you,
You
yes, you
can.
can.
I
If
agree.
if you have all you got to do is take the one little step. It's 1 millimeter shift every day is all you got to do. 1 millimeter shift. And I remember when they said that to me 2 years ago. Dean Graziosi taught me that. And I remember thinking, oh God, this is going to take forever.
Right.
Can I? And then I thought, can I really do it? Can I really do it? Will this really happen to me? And it did. And it did.
Yes. And I think it's key and important and helpful and to have a support system, to have someone like you to
Mm-hmm.
help. Like, there's been several times where I've almost driven right into the liquor store parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And now look at this. Like, I'm up here in Toronto, Canada. Jackie, where are you again? I forget.
I'm in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Right, right, right. I just like to mention that because I love how that we can talk to everyone now, like all over the world.
Right.
Um, but so up here, we were only able to get alcohol at liquor stores, and
Mm-hmm.
then they changed the rules. They opened it up and they're in convenience stores now and gas stations. Like we didn't have that before. I know you guys have always had that. So now,
Not Pennsylvania, but
oh
yeah.
no, oh okay, sorry. Yeah, I guess
No, no, but every state's different.
every state is different. That's right.
Right.
Well, same here. Like Quebec,
Right.
you could.
Right.
They sell it in stores. Here in Ontario they didn't, but now they do. So it's even easier to
Mhm.
access. So there definitely has been some times where I've wanted to roll myself, drive in there and just grab a bottle, and it's always stress induced. Like there is something. It's always something. It's not just pleasure. Like, oh, I pleasurely want. No, it's something my kids freak. They stress me out or threw me over the edge, or it's always something.
Right. And what I do in a situation with that with somebody is two things. One, play it forward. Really, how are you going to feel? I mean, it might reduce your stress for the first 20 minutes because you're going to get that dopamine hit and you're going to get that relaxation because the dynorphin kicks in, which then it becomes a stimulant. So, but really, when you really think about it and you play it forward, does it really alleviate your stress or is it temporarily really alleviate it? So, what can you do to really face the stress? The stress is there for a reason. The stress is there for you to figure out how do I want to work through this? Do you realize rocks have stress marks in them,
Right.
right? So, and they survive through those. But so stress is not, when people say, oh, I'm stressed, I need to relax, I need alcohol. No, you need to face the stress and figure out why is this coming to me? How can I deal with it differently? And so, and I just had this conversation with the client last week. I said, reconnect with yourself. I said, I want you to take deep breaths. I want you to just focus on yourself. Go outside, put your feet in, just get outside in nature because the stress is coming and I want you to just don't press it down by running to alcohol because it's still going to be there the next day. All that does is it's just a temporary fix to a problem that's going to
It
come back.
it doesn't take the stress away, like
No,
at all.
no. No, because then you get your brain gets inhibited. You do stupid stuff. You say
Yeah.
things you really shouldn't have said, and then you probably are going to wake up with a hangover, and you don't feel good. So when that's what I say to people, think about as you play through this, if you have and go buy that bottle, how's it really going to make you feel? How's it really going to make you feel?
And, I mean, and of course, it affects everyone in their own unique way. Because, someone like me, if I did do that and it's in, say, stressed out situation, then I get emotional. So you drink and you start crying. And it's
That's me.
like, why? Like, I didn't need to do that. Like, yeah, do the proper thing to relieve stress, which would be go for a walk, take a breath, do some breathing, meditate, blah, 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 right? The real stress relief stuff, not drinking
No,
alcohol.
no. But unfortunately, that's what we see on movies. I mean, but my boyfriend and I were talking the other day about thinking about how even as far back as Bewitched, I mean, they would get home, the show Bewitched. I mean, some of you younger
Yeah,
folks
yeah,
have no idea what we're talking about. You need to look it up. It's a great show.
yeah.
Um,
Great show.
but they remember they always came in and they had the little bar set between the kitchen
Right.
and the dining room. I mean, all those different shows,
Yeah,
they all talked about drinking. They're home from work. You need your drink. You need
yeah.
to drink. So we're conditioned. And that's part of what happens is it's we're conditioned because of what we watch. Where this gentleman that I'm dating, he wasn't raised around alcohol. I
Oh,
was.
yeah. Me too.
So we were completely like he had a whole different experience with alcohol than I did. He when I told him how many beers I drank in one day, he's like, "What? I don't think he ever drank that much in a month." So it's like it's
Yeah,
one of those things of what is getting into our brain? What are we exposed to?
yeah.
And there is a way like there, but the good news is just because you're exposed to it and just because you followed that pattern for a while and you made it that habit for a while doesn't mean that you have to live with that
You,
forever. You
that's right.
can
You
kind
don't have to stay with it.
of, mm-mm.
Well, I just want to, I think we can start to wind it up here because that's been a lot of information and guidance and potential support system that we have in you, which
Right.
is amazing. Yeah, you're doing amazing work, and I'm really proud of you too.
Oh, thank you. I'd love to share one more thing real quick with people because we
Absolutely.
have a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So one of the things support, like community and support is so important, especially with people who are struggling with their addiction to alcohol. So a girlfriend and I, she's a coach of out of California. Her name's Erica. We collaborated for months trying to come up with the perfect name we created a safe space for people to come to called Sober Guides to Freedom on Facebook.
Oh,
And we created
awesome.
that space for coaches. We have coaches we have people who have walked this walk and have found freedom. And it's just launched. So we're still in the like formation beta stages of it. But the gist of what we're going to be able to do is we have the feed where people can, make their comments and discussions and people can support them. And then we as coaches are going to do live pop-ins. So I might show up on a Friday at 5 o'clock on Eastern time and be like, hey, it's Friday, I'm going to give them tools and tactics to help them. I
Amazing.
would love to make sure people know about that.
Okay, sorry, could you say the group name again?
Yeah, it's Sober Guides to Freedom.
Sober Guides to Freedom.
Hey, watch this real quick because we're on camera, right? So
Yeah.
let's go to this real quick. I'll show you this. This will be fun. Um, Let me go to my video filters.
Join that group, everyone. That sounds amazing. It's on Facebook.
It is, but here's the fun part. There it is.
Oh, love
This is my
it.
page,
Good
Sober
job.
Freedom. And this was, like I said, created to give people a safe space to come to. And it's global. We have coaches from
All over.
United States, Spain, New Zealand, I'm sorry, Australia, and England, and we'll add Canada at some point. So so we want to have a global support for people where they can get some guidance. And if they're scared and need someone to talk to, it's a private group for that reason.
Right.
So that, and they'll be able to get coaching help from people that have walked the walk, that
So
live
it's
that.
probably a really great first step too. Like they could
It's a
be
great
like,
first step for
okay,
people.
I'm feeling ready, and you join the group and then
Yeah,
connect.
start right.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. That's
Awesome.
why we created it because we know it's important for people to have a space and to have people who really have dug deep, just like I have, and studied this methodology and been doing a lot to grow themselves, to be able to to be of service to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
To, yeah, spread it forward, right? Like to, yeah, help, 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 help. That's what we're all here to do, help each other
Right,
move along the path in a
exactly,
good, fun, freedom type way, right? That's the idea, is to
exactly.
feel that freedom and not stuck, not so stuck and out of control.
Cool. 100%.
So thank you so much, Jackie, for coming on today.
Oh,
I like your manifesting stories too.
thank you.
Thank you. I love that about that you wrote, the exact description of your guy and then he appears.
I know, right?
I love that stuff. Anyway, if you're interested or you need any type of help or coaching or support with regards to eliminating alcohol in your life, please reach out to Jackie and join this group, Sober Guides to Freedom.